Now, almost two-thirds of UK firms have been experiencing, quote, significant disruption to their supply chains across the EU border since the start of this year, according to the Manufacturers Association, Make UK. They say that all the extra paperwork required since the end of the Brexit transition period has meant delays for firms trying to export and import goods into Europe. And they're urging the government to sort it out. Our business and global trades correspondent, Paul McNamara, has this report.
A sea of butter oil destined for lands afar. That is a lean business though, and costs have just gone up significantly.
We have to apply for an export health certificate, we have to get a veterinary official to come and arrive, we have to pre-notify the European side, and we're finding it's easier to export to Calcutta than it is to Calais.
2 months ago, what was the process?
The process was someone would ring up, they say I've got a load of cream, for example. Do you need it? Yes, we'll send a truck in.
This vast mechanical process is now the easy bit when it comes to exports to the EU post-Brexit. The sting was taken out of January, they say, because of stockpiling, but that will soon run out. Government has pointed out that we haven't seen the huge lines of traffic at the ports that everyone was worried about. There's been a few teething problems, but on the whole, everything's going quite well. Have they got a point?
No, they haven't. The absence of the queues is not a measure of success. It's a symptom of the failure, in that many people are just nervous about exporting. There have been so many delays and arbitrary decisions from people at ports. Basically, it's a lottery. Will your product get through at the other end, or will it be delayed and rendered worthless on arrival?
1 month on since the Brexit process completed, and that, quote, significant disruption the government warned about is present, says industry. It's just that so far the problems have been with paperwork and not ports. One survey says 61% of all manufacturers are having problems both exporting and importing. And the Road Haulage Association says right now, 2/3 of all lorries that go back across the channel are going back empty to avoid red tape. This is a situation, they say, which is both costly and ultimately unsustainable. Businesses will have to get used to a new reality, say industry bodies, but they still want more from government.
They can help us with finding more customs brokers. They can go back to the EU to say, is there areas that we can improve the streamline of the systems here to make them more digital, make them more economic going forwards? And the last point I'd say is that in some European ports, of course, they're applying the rules inconsistently, differently in one port to another. So there's an effort to do on the diplomatic side.
Diplomacy has been in deficit of late, though. Last week, vaccines, the catalyst for the EU preparing to invoke an emergency clause which would have seen a hard border in Northern Ireland. The new relationship is proving tricky.
Mistakes can happen along the way. The important thing is that you recognize them early on, in this case, so early that it was before the decision was finalised.
What we need to do is have practical working with the EU to make the Northern Ireland Protocol work and to keep trade flowing.
And if trade can't keep flowing, the possibility of some firms moving some operations to the EU.
If we need to do it, we'll do it. But it's a shame that we can't actually spend the money here in the UK.
So, for government now, one key challenge: ensure it's easier for firms to send products abroad than jobs.